Namaste, everyone. Welcome back to Dr. Pai's Astrology channel. Before we start our session today, I would like to make an announcement on Dr. Pai's Astrology course. He's teaching birth rectification this weekend. So any of you who are interested, please connect with him through Instagram or Facebook or a web. No, there is no website, but the social media. And it's this weekend on Saturday and Sunday on unlocking the secret of birth rectification. And now I welcome Kṣaṇāti ji. Welcome back, Kṣaṇāti. Namaste.
Namaste, Navjeet ji. It's such an honor and pleasure to be here for another co-collaborative effort with Dr. Arjun Pai Astrology and Kṣaṇāti Jyotish, and to have you to share this beautiful space with me and to hear your lovely insights. I'm very excited today to be doing part 2 of the Dharma of Each Nakshatra series. Navjeet and I were just discussing a little bit before, and I think we'll discuss a little bit more about how does this series apply to you? Because there are certain Dharma positions in the chart, 159 in the planet Jupiter. There's the Dharma of the ruler of the 1st, 5th, and 9th house. For example, you have Aries in the ascendant, Mars is Dharma planet. If you have Gemini in the 5th house, then Mercury is a Dharma planet. But on a much more deeper, mystical, philosophical level, I want everyone who's watching this series to understand that if you have every planet in any of these nakshatras, so if you have any planet in any nakshatra, because in the 4 aims of life, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, that Artha, Kama, Moksha is not possible without full alignment to Dharma as the primary and essential aim of life, that if you have any planets in any of this nakshatras, then it is showing you deep lessons in terms of your spiritual evolution and aspects of your Dharma. So this does not have to be associated with the Dharma house, because each planetary position in a nakshatra has karmic lessons. And when we learn those lessons, we become our higher self, which is an aspect of Dharma. So this is, I think, a very beneficial and enthusiastic research that I want to get into even more. And today we'll be discussing 3 nakshatra. We'll be doing Rohini nakshatra, Mrigashira nakshatra, and Ardra nakshatra.
Super excited, Kṣaṇāti.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm going to do it the chant, but one more thing is that and again, if you have a chance to attend Dr. Pai's rectification course, this is absolutely essential, because a lot of times the birth time that we're given is given on, let's say, a 30, a 45 in these quarter intervals. And that is usually a sign that it's not accurate. So, I mean, especially if you are not have your birth time to a minute, it's essential that you take Dr. Pai's course, and he is a master on this topic. So I highly encourage it. I'd also like to do a little promotion here, that the Maharishi Parashara conference is November 21st to the 25th of this year. And Dr. Pai and Santip and Togi and Sanjay Rath and Sarbani Rath and Dr. Harness and Sam Jeppy and Narasimha Rao and many more exciting faculty members are going to be presenting on what is now the world's largest Vedic astrology conference. And so essentially in 2 weeks, Tier 2 registration ends, and the value of the registration will go up 10%. And then if you are a follower of Dr. Arjun Pai Astrology, you can use his promotional code, which is PAI Pi 108, for an additional 10.8% off. So if you wait another 2 weeks, you might be paying 20% more than you would if you hop on right now. So check out parasharaconference.com and join us for a very exciting conference this year. So I will start with the chant to Amritananda Mahima, and then we will get started on Rohini.
Thank you.
Tvameva matacha pita tvameva bandhuta saka tvameva vidya dravanam tvameva sarvam Amriteshwaryai Namah sarvam Amriteshwaryai Namah sarvam Mata Amritananda Mahima Maharani Ki Jai. Hari Aum Namah Shivaya. Jai Ma. Namaste.
Jai Ma. Namaste. Thank you. Congratulations on the conference. I mean, you said one of the biggest. biggest. And that's super exciting that everyone's going to be there together under one platform and to learn so much about astrology from different amazing professionals. So I'm excited about that.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, the first year we had 100 attendees. Last year we had 200, and it's already August and we're past 200. So, uh,
Wow.
and we have 4 continents and over 14 countries represented in terms of faculty. And so we have over we have 6 continents and over 30 countries represented in terms of attendance. So it's definitely the most international, and I now think the most attended conference. So I'm just, yes, truly blessed and honored and humbled to be hosting with my favorite teachers and just holding the space for the future of Jyotish. So thank you, Navjeet.
Yeah.
Rohini Nakshatra. A lot of people love this nakshatra. The influencing planet is the moon, and the influencing devata or the ruling devata is actually going to be Brahma, also sometimes is understood to be Prajapati. But understanding this nakshatra, first of all, it's from the 10th degree of Taurus to 23.2 degrees of Taurus. So it's right in the heart of Taurus Rashi. And so if you have any planet in Rohini Nakshatra, this is influencing your Dharma. So what type of Dharmic vibrations and lessons is this influencing? Well, first, understanding that Rohini is sometimes called the reddish one, the one which is attractive. But Rohit itself, from a Sanskrit perspective, has to do with magnetic energy and fulfillment and attraction and creation, right? The aspect of creation. And that's why Prajapati and Brahma are influential factors here. So how is this Devata influence? Well, Rohini, right? We live in a world of social media influencers. Everyone is on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. Well, let me tell you, Rohini is the original social influencer. This is the position in which they are the most attractive energy from the world. So they have a strong dharmic vibration within themselves to be fully grounded and confident within themselves, right? So on the higher side of this dharmic vibration from Prajapati is, what are you creating? How are you making a positive difference in the world? I mean, one of the associations, so this is actually an Artha, aim of life, influencing nakshatra. So oftentimes with the Rohini position, there's a lot of potential for wealth and fame and success. I mean, some planets do really well in this nakshatra, like Venus, and even Rahu is one of the strongest for fame and power and reputation in this nakshatra. So how do we understand this potential? Well, when people are becoming famous and they're attracting attention and they received 1 million followers on social media, or they're on the stage with acting or music or celebration, yeah, that's wonderful. On a karmic perspective, that is showing you that you have a lot of energy in what you have the ability to attract others. But that is not a dharma. That is a karma. The dharma of Rohini Nakshatra is, what are you doing with that attention? An adharmic vibration of Rohini Nakshatra is, okay, I have people attracted to me, a romantic partner, friends, a social circle, a sangha, a community, or maybe even strangers through something in the modern world like the internet. But one of the issues that this nakshatra can have, which is adharmic, is disalignment with standing in that in integrity. Because when you have attraction from others, now you have a dharmic responsibility to be a higher version of yourself. Because all of the people which are famous and they have wealth and other people are attracted to them, it might not even be on a global spectrum. It might just be your family members are attracted to you. You might have, be attracted from the opposite sex romantically or sexually. You might be attracted in terms of, your friend circle or your community. Well, now you have a responsibility to these people to be the best version of yourself and to be a role model. So I really feel that the Dharma of the Rohini Nakshatra is to be a good role model. Be that person that other people look up to, because guess what? Rohini is where people will look up. They will look at you. They say, show me the way. And if you're a musician and you're an actor or even an important member of your family and your habits are not sattvic, because this can be a little rajasic. So if your habits are not sattvic and you're smoking and you're drinking and you're partying and you're not have a dedicated monogamous romantic relationship and you eat fast food, and what type of example are you setting? What type of role model are you being? So this is the adharmic vibration, which is being a poor role model. So the real dharma of the Rohini Nakshatra is to be the best person you can be. Now, from an influencing planetary perspective, this is the moon's favorite nakshatra. We know that the moon is in Mula Trikona. It's in a root position in this nakshatra, so it's its most comfortable position here. And so what is that essentially suggesting? Well, it's essentially suggesting that the moon is the emblem of devotion and people will be devoted to you. And you can have a lot of powerful energy thrown towards you in Rohini Nakshatra. But again, this is karma. So what is the Dharma? What are you devoted to? Are you devoted to God? Are you devoted to your guru? Are you devoted to the yamas and the niyamas? Are you devoted to a divine spiritual practice, to your dinacharya, to following your Ayurvedic diet? Or are you devoted to unhealthy tamasic or rajasic patterns and conditions? So again, this is one of those nakshatra which carries a lot of responsibility. And so the real dharma, again, of the Rohini Nakshatra is to be a good role model, which is making sure that through the moon's influence, that you are devoted to the right things. And then by the blessing of Brahma, then by the blessing of Prajapati, you are creating beauty and abundance and prosperity, not just for yourself, but for the whole world and all of the people that you love, and maybe in potentially strangers out there. So again, there's a lot of potential for good with this nakshatra, but there's a lot of potential for selfishness as well. Excellent. So that was just a little expansion on Rohini Nakshatra, and I hope that that was beneficial.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you.
Okay, good. So the next thing I want to discuss is a Kṣaṇāti Nakshatra, which is Mrigashira Nakshatra. Mrigashira Nakshatra, which is from 23.2 degrees of Taurus to the 6.4 degree in Gemini. So again, this is a nakshatra which blends the two rashis of Taurus and Gemini. So it's very complex energy. So we will dive into it to understand. So Mrigashira is influenced by is said to be the head of the deer. And the influencing or ruling deity or devata is Chandra or Soma, Somayaha, Chandrayaha, which is the moon, which is interesting because if you have an influencing planet of Mars, but then a ruling deity of moon, that's creating an interesting energy because from the moon to Mars perspective, okay, that's friendly, but from the Mars to moon, sometimes that can be a little dicey. So understanding this is very helpful. Now, from a deity perspective, when we're looking at the Chandra, which is the moon, and sometimes we call that Soma. And so Soma is a really beautiful analogy to understand the Dharma of Mrigashira Nakshatra. Because what is Soma? Soma is this beautiful white liquid that drips off of the moon. And it's said that when the rishis meditate on the moon, that actually the soma will drip off of the moon and they will fall onto the person who's meditating upon the moon. And then when that soma hits, you experience total bliss. You experience a glimpse of samadhi. So actually, what the Mrigashira Nakshatra is trying to do is get you closer to samadhi. And the Mrigashira means that which is the seeking, that which is determining, that which is progressing, that which is moving forward. And that's where the Mars comes in, or it's an action and energy oriented nakshatra. The question is like, so where is that action or energy going? And so the Dharma of the Mrigashira nakshatra is to be a mystic, is to be a seeker, is to be a journeyer on the path of life. I like this saying, and it's perfect for Mrigashira nakshatra. We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings. We are souls having a human experience. This,
Yeah, I
yeah,
have a Rahu in Mrigashira.
yeah. So, I mean, I know you well enough to know that this will create a ton of karmic debt for you of being a seeker. You will always be seeking. And that is the thing, is that with Mrigashira position, the Dharma is to always, forever, perpetually be seeking on a spiritual journey from birth to death. And actually, that is a powerful position, because I think that's part of the human condition, is for we'll always be seeking. But now this is a dominant dharmic aspect. And see, what happens is that because of Mars, there is a goal orientation, which means, okay, like I told you, the ultimate goal of the Mrigashira is samadhi. So then they're always trying to seek that thing that's going to be bring them closer to samadhi. But even though we can have glimpses of samadhi throughout the life, they are just fleeting and temporary, like when we are sitting in Amma's grace. And then all of a sudden we forget about the past and we forget about the future, and we feel enveloped in the love of the Divine Mother. I mean, that is the temporary experience of samadhi, because time ceased to exist. But then she goes away, and then all of a sudden we're ready to go eat some paneer and some chana masala with some puri. So then we come back into our humanity and we're like, well, that was great. And we always talk to each other when we go see Amma about the experience that we had with her, and trying to understand the symbolism of it, and trying to determine, okay, well, what did she mean when she hugged me this way? And we experience download. And this is all about Mrigashira, is the constant seeking. And they also, another great saying for the Mrigashira Dharma is that life is about the journey and not the destination, because the destination focus is actually a Dharma, is standing outside of the purpose of Mrigashira. Because we think, okay, when we get to the destination, we can relax. We can stop and smell the flowers. Well, unfortunately, if you have Mrigashira, this Dharma is not true. The question is, okay, we found what we're seeking. We're helping something find something through the bliss that's giving us bliss from Soma, the dropping of the divine nectar on our life. And then that divine nectar, we digest it. And then guess what? We want more. So when we find something that is helping us become more aware, to become clearer, this is allowing us to say, okay, well, what's next? Yes, we learned a mantra that will benefit us, but then we use that mantra, and now another mantra will serve us. We have a certain spiritual guru or teacher that we learn the most from, but it doesn't mean we have to ignore all the other teachers. They have something to offer too. And so the real Dharma of Mrigashira is to always be searching, is to always be seeking, is to always look for that next thing, which is going to be bringing you closer to God consciousness. Aum Namah Shivaya. So, I mean, this is a very beautiful nakshatra. And listen, if you have a Mrigashira position and you don't think you're spiritual, it's the same thing. Let's say your goals are material. Okay, well, I need to make $100,000. Guess what happens if you have a Mrigashira position in an Artha Bhava and you make $100,000? You'll want 200,000, and you'll want 400,000, and you'll want 800,000. Like, so it's always about, okay, Mars and Soma are pushing me forever. And it's good to have goals in mind, because those goals help align us to our dharmic potential. But just understand that those goals are just a stepping stone to something else that's greater, because the ultimate goal of Mrigashira Nakshatra is moksha and samadhi. And so there's this perpetual seeking of a destination, which is never ever reachable. So we might as well enjoy the journey of life of being able to experience these temporary glimpses of bliss, knowing that there's just another action and energy that's waiting on the other end.
Beautifully described. Thank you.
Of course, of course. I love Mrigashira people. They are always they're very exciting to talk about philosophy about. They always see life through the spiritual lens. Like even the most successful materialistic Mrigashira, they're philosophical types.
Hmm.
So next we'll talk about any Rahu influenced nakshatra is one of my favorite because I'm so strongly influenced by Rahu. But then Ardra nakshatra, which falls in the heart of Gemini from 6.4 Mithuna to 20 Mithuna, right in the heart of the Gemini. And so the Ardra, which means like the drop of moisture, or like the symbol is often as the tear. And the influencing graha is Rahu, and the influencing devata, or the ruling devata, is perhaps one of my favorite ruling devatas, is Lord Rudra,
Hmm.
the most intense and fierce and powerful form of Shiva. So then what is this vibration all about? How is Rudra influencing this? And see, Rudra is not a gentle devata. It is fierce and intense, and all it wants to do is help facilitate the growth of your consciousness, the growth of your expansion. So then comes the symbol of the tear, because it's through difficult experiences, it's through confusion that the Dharma of Ardra Nakshatra is released, which is true understanding. See, the Ardra people, they see through and smell through all of the bullshit, all of the crap in life. They see things for exactly as they truly are. This is the Dharma for to be standing in honesty and integrity and authenticity. And these individuals are the most dedicated, they are the most moral, and they are most ethical on the higher side of the Dharma, because Rudra will punish them when they are in a dharma, which is the tear. The tear is saying, okay, there will be some storm that will come into your life, and this storm is to humble you, so that when you come out on the other side of that storm and the rain clouds clear, then you see the rainbow. So just as we understand that Rudra and Ardra Nakshatra is about learning from the painful experiences, which is the tear of sadness, then it's also when we see the rainbow, we have a tear of happiness.
Hmm.
And it's only the destination. We can only appreciate the many people walk through life and they see a rainbow and they just keep on driving, or they keep on walking. They don't necessarily look up at it and say, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing thing in the world. But if you are aligned to the Ardra Nakshatra position, then you are going to be able to appreciate things in life, because it's a hard knock life for you. You've had to go through very many challenges, many difficulties to get to the position, which is actually Ardra Dharma is a austere, austerity position. Because when you have gone through being mistreated, being miseducated, not, following a spiritual path, and then finding out that it was not in authenticity, then it's going to make you very, very serious about your relationships, about your spiritual path, about your belief system. I mean, as far as an Ardra person, I look to these people to give me the honest truth. They are the best kind of friends because Ardra is a social position, so they're a lot of fun. But then they also help you call you out on your nonsense. They can see and smell, and they can see through everyone's lower self, because they've gone through the lower self to get to this higher vibrational energy. One thing that Dr. Vasant Lad used to say, and I studied with him for many years, and this is very at the heart of Ardra through Rudra's influence. He used to say, confusion is the best thing. And I'd be like, Dr. Lod, like, why is confusion good? Is because he says, the moment you realize you're confused, then you're clear. So it's this recognition of that I used to be confused is the Dharma of Ardra. Rudra will come show you, listen, that thing that you believed was a lie. That person that you thought was your lover, that you thought was your romantic partner, was false. Your dogmatic religious path that thought your religion was superior and another religion was inferior, that approach to religion is wrong. Tear of sadness. Wah, wah, wah. Listen, Archer people are tough. Wah, wah, wah. Because guess what? When they learn that lesson, then the confusion becomes clarity. Guess what? That's removed. Rudra removed that from the falseness of my illusion of life. And now I can actually find my proper spiritual path. I can really find out how I truly do see the world. I can find the right friends. I can find the right wife or husband. I know the people that in my family are toxic and the ones that are nourishing. Because also the teardrop is it nourishes the spiritual and emotional self. When we have a bad experience, the teardrop nourishes our emotional state. When we have a good experience, the teardrop nourishes emotional state. The teardrop for sadness soothes the heart. The teardrop of happiness uplifts the heart. So it's all about having the most authentic, the most integrity, the most austere experiences, and not going towards a victim mentality, but learning from those experiences so that you can truly get to the site of what really matters in life. And just to summarize Ardra, it's really about having your dharma to understand that what really matters in life is usually found out by experiencing false priorities of what doesn't really matter in life. So Rahu's influence here is really going to show you what you need to learn, who you should be spending your time with, what your spiritual and mystical beliefs are, what the direction of your finances or career are by trying other things. And then Rudra being like, nope, here's a harsh life lesson around that. Now you can be aligned to your true self. So again, I really appreciate Ardra Nakshatra natives, and a lot of them are my closest friends.
Thank you, Kṣaṇāti. This was wonderful once again. I'm just really enjoying these series, learning about each nakshatras in a nutshell. So that's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Navjeet ji. In our next talk, we're going to do Parnarvasu, Pusha, and Ashlesha. So we'll make our way to the end of Cancer Rashi.
Perfect. Thank you. I
Namaste.
hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you.